Welcome to Cansanity. Today we're going to make cherry olives and tarragon vinegar. Now I'm going to start with the cherry olive recipe first because I don't have any tarragon vinegar made. But if you've made your tarragon vinegar, you could use that vinegar in this recipe. So making cherry olives is easy. All you need is some fresh cherries with the stem on. So I like to go out picking cherries, and so this year I went and I picked some Rainier cherries, and I like using these cherries in this recipe because using white wine vinegar, it preserves the color and it really looks excellent on a charcuterie board. And so we're going to do this recipe today with these cherries. Now if you like to pick, or you have access to Bing cherries or the nice red sweet cherries, then you can use them in this recipe. But then if you're going to use them in this recipe, then use red wine vinegar rather than white wine vinegar. So I have picked fresh tarragon from my garden, I have my cherries here, and then I have all the rest of the ingredients. But the first thing I have to do is I have to stem my cherry, or not stem, I have to trim the stems of my cherries. So you want to, after your cherries have been washed, you want to trim the stems to just a ½ inch. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I trimmed the stems on my cherries, and I just like to usually use a 4-cup measure, and I just kind of fill it, and then whatever I don't use, I eat them. And so I already put a jar in boiling water and in my canning pot, and so I just took it out, so it's really hot. And so you want to scald the jar, and so I just put mine in my canning pot. Once it's to a full boil, and shut off the pot. You could also just pour from a kettle hot water into the jar and let it sit for a bit, and then dump it out. And that's scalding it. Now, the reason why you don't need to throw it in the oven for 10 minutes and sterilize it at 225 is because, and you just have to scald it, is because this is a refrigerator pickle, so this is only going to last a couple months, and so you're not canning it, you're just putting it in the fridge. So I have my hot jar. Ooh, that's a little hot. And then I'm just going to pack my cherries in there, and so I'm just going to pack them in there. And then after that, I'm going to heat up my liquid that I'm going to put on it. Now, for this recipe, what you do is you put the cherries in there, and then you use a sprig of tarragon just for looks. And so I have one here. This is fresh tarragon that I grew in my garden, and I'm just going to put a sprig down one side like that. And you know what? I'm just going to put the other piece in there as well. I'm just going to bend it so it fits nicely. And I just kind of do that when I'm after the jar is halfway filled, so that I get some of that tarragon look at the bottom of the jar too. So you're going to fill the jar up, and then you're going to make the brine. And the brine is really simple. It is just a ½ cup of water, a ½ cup of white wine vinegar or tarragon vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sugar, and ½ teaspoon of salt. That's it. Really simple. So I packed that so that there's about 1 inch of head space at the top, and that's full enough. Now you could give this a little press, and I see that there was a little space there, so give it just a light press, and just to make sure that you get as many cherries in there as you can. And now when you're trimming the stems off your cherries, pick your nicest cherries. If it has a bruise on it or a blemish, just save that, eat that. But the cherries that you're going to put in for your pickles, your cherry olives, then just pick the nicest cherries. Okay, so now next what we're going to do is we're going to add our white wine vinegar to a saucepan, and my ½ cup of water, and then I'm going to add my ½ teaspoon of salt. You see, I don't need a very big saucepan to make this recipe either, because you're really just going to dissolve the solids. You're not going to have to boil this very long in order to do that. So you don't need to get a big pot. It's not going to boil over because you're just really warming it until the solids dissolve. So then you're going to put 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then now we're going to put it on the stove and we're going to heat that until the solids dissolve. Okay, that took 30 seconds to dissolve the solids, so then all you need to do then now is pour that warm brine over top of your cherries and the tarragon, and you can fill it, you know, till about a half to a quarter inch within the top of the jar. You just want to make sure that your cherries are fully covered. Now, because there's vinegar in here, you don't want to use a metal lid to store this. You want to use a plastic lid because a metal lid might, if the vinegar gets on it, then it's going to corrode. And so I have this beautiful lead lid. I'm just going to close that tight and I'm going to cool that completely, and then I'm going to put that in my fridge. It does not look beautiful. And boy, are you ever going to impress people when you pull out your own pickled cherry olives when you make your next charcuterie board. So now we'll move on to making the tarragon vinegar. Okay, so now we're going to move on to making the tarragon vinegar, and I love growing tarragon specifically for making this vinegar because then I use it in all my salad dressings. And you know, it's such a flavorful vinegar that you could just drizzle that on your lettuce along with some olive oil, salt and pepper, and there you go. It tastes excellent just using it that way. So, but I'm going to show you how to make the vinegar. So I have in this measuring cup, I have a bunch of tarragon that I've picked, I've washed, and I've dried. Now, I just want to give you a quick tip on how to dry your herbs when you pick them fresh from your garden. So what I like to do is I grab a clean tea towel, and I've rinsed and washed already my herbs, and then what I do is I put them in a clean towel, and then I roll that up, not really tight, but enough so that there's a little bit of room in between the herbs and the towel, and then I give it a shake. And then, you know, just shaking it like that, you get all the water off of the herbs. Now, you could also use this method for drying fresh fruit, such as blueberries, because they're a firm fruit. And so if you have a recipe that's calling for dried washed berries, then you can use the tea towel method to dry them. So now, moving on to the actual recipe. So what we're going to do is we're going to, it's very simple, all you need is 2 cups of white wine vinegar and half a cup of tarragon leaves that are lightly bruised, and I like to use a mortar and pestle to do that, but you could use a rolling pin, you could use the flat edge of the knife and just bang on a cutting board. You can do it that way, but I'm going to use my mortar and pestle. So I'm just going to take a little bit of time to take the leaves off the stem, and then I'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I've put a liter jar into boiling water in my canning pot. You need to have at least 3 cups of space in your jar or vessel that you're using to make your vinegar. And so the pint jars are too small because that's 2 cups, so I have to use the larger ones, the quart size. And so that's already been scalded by putting it in the hot boiling water. So that's ready to go. And then I took the leaves off all the stems, and I guessed really well because I used every single piece of tarragon for this recipe. So that's half a cup of leaves, and I'm just going to put that into my mortar and pestle, and I'm just going to bruise some of the leaves, and that just helps release some of the oil so that that will infuse into the vinegar better. And so you don't need to crush them, but you just need to bruise them so that, like I said, you'll get more flavor in your vinegar. Okay, good. And then I'll just take that out of there and I'll just pop that into my jar. And then now all I have to do is warm my vinegar. And so I'm just going to put the 2 cups of white wine vinegar into this small saucepan, and you don't need to bring this to a boil. You just need to, well, you don't need to boil it, you just need to bring it to a boil, and then you can put it into the jar. So I'll just put it on the stove and put it to boil. Okay, so my white wine vinegar is hot, 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 and so I'm just going to pour that in there. Now, what you want to shut off the pot on the stove right as soon as it starts boiling, because you don't want to boil off that vinegar, you're just heating it up. So that's done, and the reason why you use, you know, this potentially could have fit into the into a pint size or 2 cup mason jar, but you know, you want to have room for that tarragon. So and then, you know, you want to be able to mix it up every now and then if you want to do that. So, you know, you want to have the room. So anyways, that's done. And all you have to do now is let that cool. And don't put the lid on while it's cooling. Let it cool completely before you put the lid on. And you have to use also a plastic lid, because if you use a metal ring, then if some of the vinegar gets onto the metal ring, it will corrode. And what I like to do is I give, every week I give it a little mix, and I usually just shake it up. So that's why you would want to use a plastic lid. Now, you might be wondering, what are you going to use all this tarragon vinegar for? Well, I did mention that you could just drizzle it on salad with some olive oil, and if I haven't mentioned it already, there is a great recipe on Cansanity.com. It's the creamy dressing with herbs and tarragon vinegar. And honestly, once you try making that recipe, once you make that recipe, you'll want to make it all summer long, and you'll want to make this tarragon vinegar just to make that recipe. So now, I did want to tell you that tarragon is so easy to grow. I actually grow it in a container on my deck, and it's a big container. It's one of the main planters that I talked about in some of my previous videos, and it has a reservoir in it. And so I use 3 big, the biggest boxes that are approximately 3 feet by a foot. And so I plant tarragon in there, and it comes back. It's a perennial, so it comes back every year. And every couple years I have to replace the plant, and it's probably because the plant has droughted before the winter. But generally, tarragon overwinters exceptionally, as it'll overwinter in an area if you're in zone 2. So, you know, even if you're up in the north, you can grow tarragon. And tarragon has a beautiful flavor. It's great in recipes like these. But you could also just take the leaves off and put it on your salads and just eat it that way. And there will be more recipes coming to Cansanity.com, which will tell you how to use fresh tarragon. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Have a great day. Whoops, trick check, I'm not finished. So when this is completely cool, you're going to put the lid on that, and then you're going to store it in a cupboard, cool place, cool dark place for 3 weeks, and then you're going to strain off the crushed leaves, and then you're going to put it into sterilized bottles, and then store it in the fridge. It'll store best in the fridge for 6 months. And so and if you want to put in a sprig of tarragon just to make it decorative, then it makes a lovely gift. And so I just wanted to mention those things. This isn't here yet. And since I realized I hadn't finished that video properly, I thought I'd also just share with you that I did already make some of those cherry olives. And so I made these on about 10 days ago. And so you see that it keeps the color pretty nice in the rainier cherries. And now I also made some that are, they're not Bing cherries, but they're a sweet red cherry. And I used red wine vinegar and tarragon. And so just so that you can see what they look like, even after pickled, they still keep a lot of their color, and they're just delicious. So, if you've enjoyed this video, have a great day.